Okay, once again, good morning, everybody. This is the second session. I know last week we met and we had practiced some of the techniques on reading, and there were some assignments. I know some of you were able to try little bit, and many of you are not able to do much. That's fine. So we will be going ahead and continuing, and today we will be learning a couple more techniques, and we will look at how should we approach reading books and different things we should be taking care of during that. Let's look at the agenda for the session. I hope everyone is able to see my screen.
Yes, Anil, you can see.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And is my audio clear? Very clear?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, very clear.
Yeah. So we will go through the course overview once again, what we have planned and how much we have completed. Then we'll do a recap of last session quickly. Then we will do a practice test again in a little different way this time. Then we will go through 3 key techniques that can drastically improve our reading speed. Then we will look at how to eliminate bad reading habit, and then we have some more practices. That's the agenda for today. Coming to the course overview, last week we had gone through the green color ones are the one mostly we completed. We understood how normally the reading works, and then how to make reading interesting and how to choose the right book. Then speed reading techniques, we have introduced a couple of techniques last time, chunk by chunk reading. And audiobook techniques we did not discuss last time, we'll be covering today. Then there was some daily practice assignment. Then today we are going to explore a little more on speed reading techniques. And then if time permits, we will go through identifying and eliminating the bad reading habits. Then some of the other topics which may get covered here or it will be in the next session. We have one more webinar plan. That's the goal for today. Then coming to the review of last session, we understood like we go through this session like how reading works. Like slow reading process, we read word by word. We look from one word to the another word, and then we move on. And at times, our thoughts, our mind wander around, and for a while, and again we come back. Then sometimes we go back to some previous words. We don't even realize that we read many words. Then we go back. This is the normal reading process we understood. Then we were talking about the different types of reading, like motor reading, auditory reading, and visual reading. So mostly our objective is to reduce all the voice acoustic so that whatever visual we see while reading, it has to directly convert to meaning. The biggest challenge with reading is most of the time either we read loudly or we read in our head. Means that is called a silent speech. Both are blocking our speed and efficiency of understanding things. Our objective is to get the visual and get the meaning directly. So we did explain about these different types of reading or readers. Before proceeding further, I want you to read these sentences. These are some of the facts or truths you should be 100% believing in it. Because if you don't believe in the things, it's going to be very difficult for you to achieve. Believe these facts. One is you can read much faster and better. No doubt about that. Don't even have a single slight doubt in your mind. You can read much better and faster. If you are reading slowly, it's not your mistake. It's just that you have not trained and practiced the best way of reading. It's all about you have not practiced. Don't say that you are a slow reader. Speed reading is not a talent. It's just a skill anybody can acquire if we practice it in the right way. So it's not a talent. Don't think that some people are really good in reading. It's not like that. It's not a talent. It's a skill you can acquire through right practices. Another important point is you can double your reading speed and efficiency in just 2 weeks by spending 20 to 30 minutes a day. This I can guaranteely tell you if you put the 20-30 minutes effort continuously and build it as a habit. I can guaranteely tell you that. So believe this all facts, you will be able to read much better and faster. Let's start with a practice. what I will do is I will share you. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let me share that Google Drive link so that you can access it. I'll be sharing a link in the chat window. Please see whether you are able to access that. I think in Zoom doesn't allow directly clicking the link. You may need to copy paste it in Google.
Okay.
Are you able to access?
Yeah, Anil, we can access it. I
Okay.
can access it.
Everyone, please just confirm that so that I can tell you.
Yes, got it, Anil.
Okay. Okay. Let me tell what to do next.
Yes, and PDF, right? Yeah.
Yes, it's a PDF.
Correct. Got it.
So this practice test, I will put a timer here. You can just open that PDF. Don't start reading. Just read the instruction, and I will share a timer here so that you know like how much time you took to complete it. Are we all ready to start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope you can see the timer in my screen.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What do we have to do exactly? I'm not sure.
Yeah. So what you have to do is you have to open that PDF. The place where it is written start. You
Yeah.
have to start reading it. Nothing else to do. You just start reading in your normal speed with proper
Okay.
understanding. You have to finish reading that, and at
Okay.
the end there are a list of questions. Few questions at the end. You have to answer that. Answer means you just note down what is your answer. I will share the answer at the end. We are just trying to test what is the normal reading speed and the comprehension together.
So when we finish, we have to tell you when we have finished. When we do stop reading.
Yeah, when you finish, look at the screen. The timer, the stopwatch will be running. You can look at how much second you took for reading.
Okay. All right.
Just stop at the end. Then you look at how much time you took. Then you can go through the question.
Okay. All right.
You can just put your time, how much time you in the chat box.
Okay.
Ready? Okay. Let's start. Here we go.
WM वो इरेज करेंगे अंदर पड़ा ना आपके पेंसिल स्कैनर रखे हैं
ऐसे होता है
नहीं
Everybody can go on mute.
ऑडियो बनाया आपने
Okay, you want me to mute?
Yeah.
वन लाइन
Anil, after you are done with the reading, we'll have to answer the question. Note it down the time.
Yeah, you can just look at the questions and see whether you know the answers. You can just note down the answers. Don't read it again. Just try to see whether you are able to recollect.
Done.
Yeah. Everybody done? Can you just put that time in the chat box so that I can confirm everybody is done? I hope everybody is done, right? Anybody else? Vinay, you are trying?
I'm answering the questions.
Okay.
I will type. I mean, note it down the time. I will message.
Okay. That's fine. Yeah.
So questions reading time is separate, right, Anil?
So that is
That's not-
separate. That's separate. That's
Okay.
separate. Yeah.
So now we need to have an answer to all the questions. Is it?
All the questions you should have an answer. We are just trying to check the comprehension.
Oh, okay. So are we supposed to put answer in the chat box or how is it?
No. We will go through the answer. You just note down what did you answer.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I hope everyone is done.
Mohan, Shipra, क्या चल रहा है? 1 minute.
Yeah. Now let's look at the time you spend and the words per minute speed. The first column, it shows the seconds, how many seconds it took. Then words per second, you just leave that column. Third column shows your words per minute speed. Just get a fair
Where-
understanding where do you stand. Yeah, go ahead.
Come again, Anil. What is that?
I'm
211.
First column shows how much second you took to read. Accordingly, it
Okay.
shows what is the words per second. Words per second, second column you can ignore. That is not a normal measure. Words per minute is the normal speed measure. If you say, for example, you took 1 minute 8 seconds means it is like 60 seconds, right? That shows your word per minute is around 508 words. It could be around 510 or something. It will be little less than 508 because you took additional 8 more seconds, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you take one example to explain? Sorry, I just lost you.
Okay. Say for example, we take Hanu. It's
Okay.
2 minutes 52 seconds. 2 minutes 52 seconds is 120 plus 52, 172 seconds, right?
Correct.
Yes.
172 means 170 means your words per minute is 179. You can see this column. 170 seconds you took to read this many words. This has 508 words.
Okay. Oh, I was not seeing this presentation. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. This whatever you read, this passage has 508 words. If you read it in 170 seconds, means 170 seconds itself is showing 179 is your words per minute.
Got it. So mine is around 234.
Okay, yeah. You don't worry about or compare about anybody else. You just look at what is the speed, and then that is the point we should be looking at improving from there. Everyone will have a different speed. It all depends upon their reading style and other facts. Now just look at all the answers for the questions. I'm just going to tell those answers. Let me open that. Yeah, first question, speed reading is an effective usage of reading techniques and tools. Is that true or false?
True.
True.
No, that's false. First one is false, right?
No, first one is true. It's all about from the passage, right?
It's true. True.
You can see from the
Yeah.
first passage, it is true. Second, speed reading is not a skill, it's a talent you are born with.
That's false.
That's false.
Correct.
Speed reading is like driving. It's just about looking at the content what is given. Yeah,
True.
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 And Anil, the first one is false, right?
No, first one is true as per the
No,
passage.
it is faster and better with our losing comprehension understanding. It doesn't say without. It is with our losing comprehension. So we are not
No,
losing
sorry. This was actually
understanding.
without.
Yeah, that is where even I got confused. That's why I had marked it as false.
Okay,
So-
it's my fault. Sorry, it's my fault. Thanks for pointing it out. Yeah, I was just exactly copying that. Yeah.
I read it as without for some reason.
Yeah.
That's it.
Very good, Manu. Very good.
Yeah. Then fourth one.
True.
True.
Yeah, true.
But it was not mentioned explicitly, I suppose.
Yeah.
We have answered not covered. I don't know.
It was not mentioned. It was increasing speed.
That is mentioned, yes.
It was inferred.
Yeah. It was not covered.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
By practicing speed reading, you will develop sharper memory and ability to grasp things quickly.
That is also not covered.
Not
Speed
covered.
reading. Yeah, not covered.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
true.
sorry. I think the fourth one is mentioned. Fifth one is not covered.
Yes, mentioned.
Yeah. Fourth one is
Yeah.
mentioned. Sorry.
Fourth is mentioned.
Yeah. Fourth is mentioned as it is. Yeah.
So that means fourth is true.
Fourth is true. Sorry. Fourth is true. Fifth is not covered.
Okay.
Sixth is true. Sixth is there.
There. The three key points it is mentioned. This is true.
Yeah, that's
Just
true.
look at how many of your answers were right. That shows like out of 6, if 3 are right means 50% is the comprehension. If all 6 are right, it is 100%. It's just a small example. So don't take it when you read a full book.
Wow.
And moreover, here, whatever you have, right, you have been discussing in the last call and this call. We also know most of it.
Yeah. Okay. So this was just a test to understand where is your comprehension and where is what is the speed you currently have. Now let us explore a little more on the reading, effective reading part. So when it comes to effective reading, what are the key points you should be looking like, especially before reading, or how should we approach book reading more effectively to get best out of the reading? After that, we will go through some of the techniques and then practice more. How to read effectively? I have few points which I want to elaborate little more. First is assignment versus tool, tool versus what, body and head versus eyes and mind, left versus right, word versus picture versus movie, and then warm up and preview. Assignment versus tool means I am mostly talking about non-fiction books. When you read non-fiction books, it's not an assignment. Assignment means it's not something which you have to read from page 1 to last page. Consider book as a tool. Never consider book as something you have to read each and every word and each and every sentence, each and every paragraph in this book. That is not the objective of reading a book. Let's be very clear. Say for example, consider book as a tool which has lot of features or lot of things available. Look at what is apt for you or what you really want and focus on that. Don't set a goal of completely reading the book as an objective, because at the end of the day, book reading is not a competition to complete, okay, this book I read, this many books I read. It's all about what you can learn and implement in your life. That is the primary purpose of reading. So keep that in mind. For example, if you're going to a supermarket, will you pick all the items there? No, right? You pick only what is required for you. You look at what is your need and accordingly you go through it. Don't take book reading as an assignment. That will put you in trouble. That is one reason many people lose interest in reading, because they start reading from the first page the moment you get the book. After reading 2-3 pages or 2-3 chapters, we slowly lose interest. There is a systematic way of looking at or starting our reading also, so that you don't lose the interest. We will go through that. Is this point clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Next
Can
is
everyone go on mute, please?
Anil,
yeah.
assignment I'm able to understand.
Yeah.
Still need a bit clarity on tool. What do you mean by
Yeah.
tool?
So if you are reading a non-fiction book, what will be our objective? What will be normally the objective? You want to learn things,
Okay.
you want to understand, and you maybe want to implement in your life, or you want to
Exactly.
understand how other people think, right?
Mhm.
But it is a book is what is book? Book is actually a utility or a tool which is really going to, the primary objective is to help you to get a different, either it could be a different perspective or a different way of looking at it, or learn something new and implement in your life.
Okay, got it. Got it.
Yeah. So consider this as a tool. Second is full versus what. That's what I was telling the second point. Like when you go to a supermarket or anywhere, you are not going to buy everything. It's not mandatory for you to get all the things. There is something I will explain in a later point, something called 80-20 principle, that is called a Pareto rule. That says 80% of the book's content, book idea can be get by reading 20% of the book. That's a very common acceptable principle, not only in book reading or in almost all the industries. It's very applicable, very much true. You really don't need to read from starting to end, get the message or get the core
Can
contents
everyone
of the book.
please be on mute? There's some disturbance.
Yeah, Anil, can you please put everybody on mute?
Okay, okay, I will only do that then.
Thanks.
muting everyone. If any
Thank you.
questions, just ping me. Full way versus what means you don't need to read full. You need to read what is required. You should be focusing on that. Next is body and head versus eyes and mind. We know when we read the book, our body is involved. Body is involved in the sense, definitely eye movement is required. Then if you are reading loudly, all your vocal cord and all lot of other body parts are involved. And then definitely head is also involved. Like you, most of the time you are reading silently. It is something like an inner speech. Don't read in that way. Rather, use your eyes to see what is happening and directly. I think we saw that picture in the beginning. We want to remove all the additional noises or additional things coming in. You just directly want to get the message and directly pass it to the mind. Reading is ideally, we can say it as, usually we should not be reading at all. In the sense, when you see some content, you should be able to understand what is the message. Same example, like if you read a word, do you read each and every character in that word, alphabets? You never read, right? Even though we learned initially reading that way, we came out of that. And we just looking at the word, you get the meaning. You are not going to read individual words. Same is applicable when you practice further. You really don't need to read individual words. Just by looking, you will be able to collectively get the meaning of a sentence. That is our goal. That should be our goal. Next is left versus right. What is this picture?
Brains, right, left and right brain.
Yeah. What is the difference between left and right?
Right brain. That's analytical brain and the creative brain, right?
Yeah.
Black and white in color.
Yes. Yeah. One is more about logical, analytical thinking. All those happens in the left side, but right side is more of creativity. I think when we read books, you should be able to utilize the right side, more creativity, imagination, and all. That's the way we should be looking. So for example, if you are reading something, say if you read a word like TV, rather than or television, rather than getting the literal meaning of the word television, you should be imagining. You should be able to imagine television. That's the way you should be looking at the reading. Anything you see, car, TV, or anything when you see a word, you should be naturally and automatically you should be going into an imagination mode. Then you will be able to connect with the message very easily. That should be our goal. Next is word versus picture versus movie. We all know words, word by word, the way we are reading initially, and then we know like a picture worth 1,000 words. We all know, right? So picture, when you see a picture, you will be able to capture more information from that very quickly. You will be able to recollect also rather than the words, because words are more of logical or number type of things. It doesn't make much sense or connection. But when you see a picture, you will be able to connect a lot. But imagine if it is a movie. Rather than a picture, you will be able to connect much more in a movie. Like when you watch a movie, you will be able to, our movie continuously you are watching, you will be able to completely get the message or completely able to get the full story of the movie, right? How much data you are processing at that time. You know, a picture, you consider picture worth 1,000 words. Think about 1 minute movie. You know, the frames per second is like 24 frames per second. That means around in a minute itself, there are around 1,400 plus pictures are coming to our eyes. All those pictures we are seeing and we are able to see. Same way when we read a book, you should be thinking about movie reading. Movie reading is you are reading with your imagination, or you are trying to read as a story rather than reading even each words or each sentences, trying to understand the meaning. You are directly more connecting with the message what the author is trying to do. That should be our goal. Read like a movie, which makes our connectivity much more easier. That should be the approach we should be taking. And the first final point, this is something I came up with from my experience, something I called as warm-up. Warm-up means anything we do, when we do any core exercise or anything, we do a warm up, right? When it comes to book reading also, a warm up is always required, and warm up is always going to be making the reading much more entertaining, and it makes it much more easy also. What does warm up means? Warm up, W means why. Always start with your why. Why are you reading this book? What is your intention? I think when you have the answer for why, you will have more curiosity to read the particular book. Second is author. Author means when you are able to connect to the author, you will be able to read much with much interest and curiosity. So connecting with author is very important in your reading. So it is always good, like when you are about to read a book, you just look at, okay, this is the author. Go ahead and Google the author and watch some of his interviews or anything in the YouTube. Go through it and you connect with the author. Once you build a connection, the human connection works much more easier than the words or letters. So it's always good to connect with the author, understand what is his style, what is his life mission, what are the things he or she is doing really great. And you have a lot of connect with it. That's what I was telling last time also. When any of your close friends or somebody is publishing a book, you will be very curious and you will be reading with full passion. Because I know Abhi's book or Kedan's book I read in a single stretch because I was very curious to read that. Why it is happening is just because of the connect. So build a connect with the author so that you will have more interest to read the book. Then next is research. If the topic is something, mostly when the topic is something new, it's always good to do some search in Google or identify something and do some initial analysis and research from your end, so that when you start reading, you can connect the thing. Because when you are able to connect things, you will not forget. Most of the time, why you are forgetting is you are not able to connect to the meanings or anything. Because when you read a book, what we do mostly is we are trying to connect with whatever knowledge we gained already. That's the way we connect. So when you do some research, you are gaining more knowledge. And when you read that particular book on that relevant topic, you will be able to understand what the industry is thinking about, what are the top trends going on, what is happening, what is this author is trying to say. This is very much required. Next is the message. Message is, what is the message this book is giving? What is, you have to tell somebody, what is the single most important message this book is giving to anybody? Most of these points I am talking about non-fiction books. So just keep that in mind. So what is the message of this book? Understand that. Then UP stands for unique purpose. Unique purpose means when it is not the unique purpose of the book. It is your unique purpose. Why? We start with the why. Why are we reading this book? Say for example, you are reading a book on improving your communication. So your why will be, I want to improve my communication. That is why I am reading this book. Unique purpose should be something much more deeper than that. For example, the person is either working in a company or a teacher or somebody. Telling his unique purpose is he want to go and do more better presentations. That is a unique purpose he has. Even though his why is saying that, okay, I want to improve my communication, the unique purpose is to, I want to do better in my sales presentation, or I want to do better in my presentations in my company or in my school. When you have a unique purpose, you will be more curious. You will be very much interested to read that particular book because you are very clear what is that you are looking from this book. Then it is going to be very easy journey for you to read that book. Is it clear? Any questions?
No.
No, it is clear, Anil.
Okay.
It's a good metaphor.
Yeah. Then let us look at some of the speed reading. We will not be covering everything today. I will not be able to cover that much. We will go through some of the things to understand and we will focus on a couple of things. I think chunk by chunk reading, we already practiced. We are going to do a little more practice today for the new people. Then reducing, eliminating the visual regression. What is regression? Regression means rereading. Rereading means you are reading a sentence again you are going back, and means it could be because your mind is wandering. You just go back and again read. That is the way you are wasting so much of time. That needs to be reduced or eliminated. There are methods to do that. But one of the method is visual meta guiding. I think that we discussed last, using a pencil or even your finger or any of the visual guiding devices that you can move on or through the words in a faster way, so that you will always, and you focus only on the tip of that particular pencil or pen or on your fingertip, so that you can move much faster than what you normally read. The advantage with a visual or meta guiding device is you can go as fast as required, because you can just do zoom, you can do, and your eyes will try to follow. It will be painful initially, but once you practice this, it will become much more easier for you to go even without this meta guiding device. Ideally, this meta guiding device is just for you to come from the normal level to a higher level. Once you cross some speed, ideally you should not be using a meta guiding device, because reading is actually a fully silent process. It's only about your eye and mind. No other body part should be involved in reading. That's why reading is like meditation. That's the time you get full focus on reading. So ideally, when you use a meta guiding device, ideally you are little bit of utilizing your body, but it is perfectly fine to gain the speed. But once you gain some good speed, like 600, 700 words per minute, you really don't need to use any of these devices. You will be naturally. But reach there, it is always good, because first training is for your eyes. So it's good to use it, but once you are very comfortable, don't use that. And sweep or tapping, that is another mode of doing it. I think that also tapping I mentioned last time. Rather than just going so fast with the pen or pencil, you go to have some fixation. Fixation means when you read one line, your eyes goes to the first word, then next to the next word, next word, next word. Each of that is called a fixation. So to reduce the number of fixation in each line, that is our goal. In tongue by tongue reading means you are not going to read one word, you are not going to look at one word, you are going to look at more than one word. To do that effectively, you can do tapping. Tapping is like you just pick the book, just put your finger. I'll show that how it works, and then move faster in different steps, so that your eyes will be jumping from one to another. Then skimming is another method. Skimming is mostly about getting the core message from a page or from a particular paragraph. This is mostly used when you have very less time and when you want to understand the core or the crux of or the gist of that particular page. Use skimming. There are different ways to do skimming. Then scanning is another thing. Scanning is basically you are searching for something. And you know, right? What is the meaning of scanning? Virus scan and another thing. Scanning is you are searching for one particular message or what is something in that book. That time you can use scanning. You are actually not reading. You are just moving your eyes very fast in the book to see whether that particular content is there or not. This we normally use when we study for exams and all, whether we want to find out some particular answer. You scan through the book very quickly to identify that. Reading as a movie, I already explained. Look at things as a movie than as a picture. Reduce, eliminate subvocalization. Subvocalization is the silent reading or the silent speech in our head. Like even though we are not making any noise, we are reading each word by word in your head. That is actually blocking. Like I mentioned earlier, if somebody is reading loudly, they can read as fast as their speaking speed. And speaking speed is normally around 150 to 180 words per minute. If they can speak only 180 words, how can they read more than 180? They can't do. That is a similar way. Even if you are doing a silent speech, you limit yourself in a particular range. You cannot, if you do a silent speech or subvocalization, normally you will not be able to go beyond a speed of 400 words per minute. Then another thing is targeted reading. Targeted reading is another important point. Like when you have a goal, you define, like when you get a book, you look at, okay, this book is this much, okay, normal speeding reading, it will take, okay, 8 hours. I want to finish it in 6 hours. That's something like that. I'm just giving a bigger picture, but if you take 1 or 2 chapters, you can set, okay, instead of 60 minutes, I want to finish it in 40 minutes. When you have a goal, your mind will have more focus on completing that. That is called target reading. The 80-20 rule implementation is focusing on what should be reading and what can be eliminated. And in majority of the books, around 20% of the content can be easily eliminated. Doesn't make sense. Most of the time that will be a repetition where we really don't need to read. That is something called a point of diminishing that is there for most of the book. Once you read, going through the content, you will easily understand, okay, the core message I got, it is all repeating things. Structured reading is another mode that is, we define the structure of reading. Another thing is reversing of structured reading. I already told that can help us to practice.
Anil, what is 80-20? Sorry.
Yeah, 80-20 is the Pareto principle. Have you heard about it?
Correct.
Yeah, it's about
When it comes to
80%.
reading,
Yeah, 80% of the content of the book can be understood by reading only 20%. Getting that? It's 80%
Yep,
of the
yep,
books
yep.
book content can be get by reading 20%. Yeah.
Anil, I have a question here. You said, is it okay to ask
Yes,
a question
go
right
ahead.
now?
Go ahead, Shiv.
You said that reading is usually a silent process where no other body part should be involved, right?
Yeah.
But when I remember as kids, we used to be told that for exams or studying, that if you read it loudly and you can hear what you're reading, you will remember better and you will remember it and your recollection will be better. And so we were asked to, like, I used to be a silent reader, but I used to be asked to read it aloud so that your memory can retain it better than what otherwise it would. So
Yeah, but
could you explain that?
yeah, I don't know whether that was the reason. What I am. Sorry, I think there is an echo. Anybody connected from? Or I will mute everyone and answer. Yeah, so I hope everyone is able to hear me. Okay. So
Yes,
what I was
we
telling,
can
like,
hear
yeah,
you.
when we were kids, we were told to read loudly. What was the primary purpose of that? The primary purpose was to make sure we are reading the right way. That was the objective. Like when kids started reading like C-A-T, cat, R-A-T, rat, they were making sure the pronunciation is proper. All those things were given. That was the reason we were reading reading very loudly. And even when we started reading word by word also, people were asked to read loudly. And when kids need to read loudly to make sure, like teachers are making sure, like, okay, they are reading it in the right way. I think that was the only intention. I don't think if you are reading loudly, we will be able to hear and recollect. When you are able to connect what you are reading with something else, that's the way the recollection and memory works. I don't think, as per my understanding, I don't think there is any logic reading loudly we will be able to hear. Because when you read, I don't think we are hearing through our ears what we read.
Okay, I'm not sure because it is I'm talking about time when I was grown up. I was not very small. I was grown up, maybe 13, 14 years of age. So you're fairly grown up and you're giving examinations. And when you're reading, in your mind, you're imagining and reading. But when you read loudly and, even when you're reading as a group, you read loudly to each other. So that is what I recollect, being told that read loudly, it will help you remember better. And I'm not talking about small kids when you're learning to read. I'm talking about grown up, exam time or trying to learn a lesson. So you said, and it was constantly told by all the elders, parents, teachers, that if you read loudly, you can remember better and faster. And it helps you absorb, because you're not just reading in your mind, you're also, so your mind is working double fast to help you retain it. That's what I remember. That's why I thought I'll bounce it off to you, because I remember very clearly, as to be told, read loudly so you can hear that what you are reading. It will help you retain your subject.
Yeah, to be frank, I'm not very sure about that, whether that will help. But as per my understanding or as per my reading on this subject, it really don't help. It is all about how you focus and concentrate on your reading. When you are deeply involved in reading, that's the time you get maximum output. See, one great example, like people like Swami Vivekananda and all they were reading in meditation. Meditative state only most of the time they were reading, and they have always had 100% retention, in the sense their understanding or comprehension was always great. I'm just taking that extreme example, but always when you are silent and focused, that is from my experience also, I am able to recollect much more. Where reading loudly is putting so much of effort in your reading itself. That's my take on it. There could be different thoughts around it, but that's what I understood.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for explanation.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Also, Anil, I just think that that loudly they used to say also because we have to remember in sequence, and you know, it's not the comprehension. It's more about like exactly remembering what is written and to write it back in the exam. Or when you say mantra, you have to say exactly right. Like that, when you do loudly, you'll remember in sequence. So that
Okay.
is much better. But here, speed reading is different thing. Yeah. So both goals are different, I guess.
Yeah.
I have one more question, Anil.
Yes, Abhi.
Why we are focusing on speed reading? Why not slow reading? Slow reading is also fun, right?
Yes, yes.
I'm just curious question, just curious to know.
Yeah. That's what I was telling Abhi. It's all about individual choice. What I'm telling is, if you know speed reading, and if you are able to read, like say for example, if you are able to read one book in 5 hours, the same book without losing any understanding, with full understanding, if you are able to read in 2 hours, you are saving 3 hours, right? It's a choice. It's not something we have to
Okay.
take it mandatory.
It's not a compulsion, it's a choice.
It's not a compulsion.
All
See,
right.
it's not a compulsion. See, as I mentioned, driving, some people like driving very slowly. Even in highways, they prefer to go in very slow. But when there is opportunity and people want to utilize, because reading more number of books gives you more bigger insights. And I think one of the greatest quality in most of the greatly successful people is reading more number of books.
Right.
If you really want to read more, yeah, I know. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, I understood. I got it.
Yeah. Then reverse sweeping, backward reading. Next is effective previews. Basically, how do we do the preview before start reading a book? There is lot about previews that makes a lot of time saving in your reading and make reading more interesting. Then there are some techniques for reading audiobooks and also like reading on electronic devices. And effective note taking is also another important factor. Note taking also searching for the meaning of the words and all. It's a standard way of doing things, rather than every time when you see a new word, you keep the book there and go and pick the dictionary. That will be a big distraction. There are different ways to do it. And finally, the mind maps is one thing which helps you to remember anything. It's not only about book reading. If you want to remember anything in a structured way, mostly it is putting it in the right side of your brain, more in a creative way, connecting. It's all about drawing the complete book summary in a single page using different colors. Mostly it is done using pencil if you are doing in an offline mode. Do with different colors, different branching. It is something like a tree. From the root it starts and it goes to different chapter. And once you read and once you understand it, you will never forget the sequence also. This is a very beautiful tool which I learned from one workshop. It is really helping me to completely know the book as it is. These are the most important techniques which will help us to do better. So we will go through some of these things today. So reading chunk by chunk, I think we covered last time. Just to explain one more time. Yeah, we will be reading a set of words together. Our eyes will be focusing on 2 to 3 words or 3 to 4 words at a time, and then we will move faster. As we all know, like Swami Vivekananda was one of the greatest in the speed reading. So he says he reads sentence by sentence or paragraph by paragraph. That was his mode of reading. That's why he was able to read lots of books, like even encyclopedia and all those things in a single day or couple of days. He was able to complete one book, one big book, big volumes and all. So let us look at how do we do the tongue by tongue reading. So basically, this is an extract from Abhi's book. Basically, to read, what you should be doing is you should focus on 2 to 3 words of tonguing. Tonguing means rather than when you are reading this quote says, your focus should be on the center of these 3 words. You should not be looking at left and right. You should be mostly looking at the center and then read these 3 together. Then move to the next 3, next 2 or 3, whatever is coming. Initially, it doesn't make much meaning for you when you go to 2 or 3 words at a time. But slowly you will be able to see that rather than looking at 1 word at a time, if I can look at 2 or 3 words at a time, I can read much faster. This is the crux of speed reading. The people who are more effective, they are able to read more number. Like here I have put 4 fixation. That means your eyes will just go to the first column, second column, third column, fourth column, one at a time. That means you will have only 4 fixations. But in a normal reading, if you read word by word, if you look at how many words are there, you will have 8 to 9 fixations in that line. Your goal is to reduce that, bring it back to half. 4 fixations, you focus on it, go to the next one, go to the next one, and read it. That is the way you should be reading. Now let us look at the same thing we can achieve through tapping. Tapping means you keep your finger there, with the middle finger should be at the center of that particular column. The column means column is an imaginary column. When you look at the book, you will not definitely see these columns. To practice, maybe you can draw columns using pencils, and then you can practice it. You put your the finger, the middle finger at the center of that particular column, then immediately take it and move to the next column, move to the next column, move to the next column. That's the way it should be. You should be doing. This is what is sweeping or tapping, it is called. This will help us to jump from one to the another. Another thing is using a visual meta-guiding. Meta-guiding is, as I rightly mentioned earlier, using a pen or pencil or even using your finger, you can move faster, like this. Pass it to go faster, 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 so that your eyes will be able to, once it is trained with this, you may not need to do this. You can just go with. And also the tapping, initially when we practice, we will do with 2 or 3 words at a time. Then slowly we will be able to do 1 full line at a time. In that case, you will be just moving rather than horizontal, we will be moving it down. That way also you will be able to read. Like 1 line at a time, you will be able to read, but it requires some practice. Then meta-guiding is there. Yeah, next is expanding your vision. Last time we saw this. Just look at this image. Just try to read. I think especially this is for all the new members who did not join last time. Just try to read. Try to look at only at the center letter, center character like N-A-S-T. And when you look at N, just see whether you are able to see both the letters at both the sides. Just practice it once. Read downwards, but don't focus your eyes on left or right letters. Your focus should be always, your eyes is exactly going to be on that particular letter, not on left or right, and try to read. You will be able to see both the letters easily. Just try this. Done?
Yep.
Anil, what was visual regression?
Visual regression is going back. Going back when you are reading a paragraph or words together, you either you forget to read or your mind was wandering and you came forward and you forget and again going back to read the previous words.
Yeah. So reduce that.
Yeah, reduce that. You should not. That is why a meta guiding device like a pencil is there. Then you will not go back, right? You will always look at the tip of the pencil.
Got it. Got it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So everyone read this. Was it easy? You
Yes.
are able to see the both side letters.
Yes.
Yes. That's the way our eyes works. Our eyes has a great peripheral vision where you can see the things. Just even though we are looking at one thing, you will be able to see both the sides. Now let's try with some words here. Same, we have to try. But here you read only the words in the center, but at the same time try to see whether you are able to read the other two words also.
Little difficult, but yes.
Yeah. This is little difficult primarily because I have kept some gap between these three words to distinguish. But when you are looking in a book, there is not much gap. You really will be able to correct.
Right. Right.
Shailaja, you have any question?
Yeah, please. This expand your vision. You said no on the right, focusing on middle column. Can you please just read it out? I mean, how can I do? I just right now, and it was only in the on the middle column. It wasn't going left and right. And when I tried going left, it was difficult again.
Yeah, so you just look at, say for example, pick the second line here. You just look at width. Just look.
Sorry.
Yeah, just look at the second line in this slide. Yours with others, yourself with others, right? So you just look only at the center word.
Yeah.
Don't move down or up or anything. Just look only at the center word and see whether you are able to naturally see both the words without even looking at that. You will be able to do. Maybe the first time when you are trying it will look a little difficult, but you will be able to easily do that. Because our eyes is like when you look at something in the front, we are always seeing things in the other side also, right? It's not like we are seeing only one particular, because we have a focused as well as great peripheral vision also. So we can easily see. That is the way most of the people read.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just think when kids are reading initially, they read letter by letter, right? At that time, they are focusing only on one letter. How did they expand to a bigger word? Look at a single thing. Same way, the three words should be looked at a single object.
Okay.
Yeah, it definitely takes. Say, for example, if you pick some bigger word, that word you are not going to divide and read it separately. Globalization. That word may have 15 characters, but you read it as a single word, right? Even if you put that into three, you divide that into three also, you should be able to capture, okay, this entire thing means globalization. Same way, three words also, we can get the meaning. It definitely requires some practice because this is not the normal way we read or we practice. So anything coming out of comfort zone is not very easy.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody has any questions?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, Anil.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll like to take a leave because I need to attend another meeting. So
okay. I'll finish. Okay, go ahead, Mohan.
I'll just like to acknowledge one fact that last week when we did the practice exercise, my speed was around 260, and in lieu of the exercises which I did, today my speed was 435
Wow,
words
super.
per minute. So it is actually working, and it's, I believe, practice, practice, and practice is the motto which we need to follow.
Thanks a lot, Mohan. Yeah, I'm very happy to hear that. Yeah,
Thanks, Anil. I'll take leave.
thank you. Yeah,
Bye, everyone.
yeah. I'll
Bye.
share the recording. Yeah, I'll try. I think we already crossed the time. I'll finish it another 10 minutes. Is that fine with everybody?
Yes, Anil.
Okay.
Yes, yes, sir.
So this is again similar way. I put. Can we just try to read this? I know it will be a little difficult, but let us go ahead. Yeah. Same way by focusing on the center words.
This was challenging.
Yeah, this will be little challenging. The eyes may be paining little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, invariably moving left, no, eyes left to right.
Correct.
You have to put some strain to keep the eyes at the center. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eyes automatically goes to the left or the right.
Yeah, don't allow that. You have to control your eyes.
We should imagine that we're sitting in IMAX theater and seeing a full screen.
So that is a great example. Like when you watch a movie,
Yeah.
do you focus sharply on one object? No, right?
No, we don't.
You
It
just
is
look
so.
at, yeah, you just look at the movie.
Especially IMAX is the screen is so big, but
Yeah.
still we don't do left right.
Yeah.
We still see the entire
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah. Basically, we can go like as that last time I showed, like if you just move our hand in both the ways, you still can see our hand, right? Without even looking, without even turning our head, you can see. It can go even beyond 180. I think it is 190 degree or something we can see. That
True.
much of peripheral vision we have. Just we have to utilize it. That's all. Yeah. So I'll move. That's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
So next was actually a practice. I was thinking like this, shall we do this practice or shall I share that practice similar way of what we did in the initial time? I want you to apply these techniques and read it.
Okay.
Actually, I will share this document. It's again a PDF. It's little more bigger, like around 800 plus words are there. So I want all of you to do that assignment if possible today itself. It won't take more than 10 minutes for you. Just read it, and at the end again there are questions. But this time you keep an intention of I want to read little faster, and try to apply any of these techniques which we learned today. Tongue by tongue reading is the primary thing you should focus, and try either tapping or using a pencil or any other devices and try to read faster. And at the end, check your comprehension also. There is an answers also. Once you are done, just put the message in our group. I will share the answer later. Answer key so that you can validate. Is that fine?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, that was the result for that measurement. So let me share what is left or what we are going to do the coming week. So as I mentioned, there are many bad habits in reading, which we might have acquired over a long time, which we may not even realize we have that bad habit. We will go through some of those bad habits and how do we eliminate those. And then we will go for what are the key factors affecting our reading speed. There are so many factors like the way you sit, the way you hold your book, many things are there. So we will see like what are the best ways of doing those. Then we will build a reading plan for yourself, like what do you want to do for this year. And some of the bad reading habits mentioned here. I'll not be explaining this. We will cover it in the next session, like loud reading, silent reading in head, lipping, tongue rappling. Are you able to see this, or this picture is coming? Okay.
Yeah, we can see that.
Yeah, tongue warbling, jawing, Adam's appling, diaphragming, wrong posture, wrong timing, slow page turning. Slow page turning itself is a huge time consuming. Like if you, for example, if you read a 300-page book and if you take 1 second for turning one page, you are taking almost 5 minutes for just for turning the pages. So there is a scientific or systematic way of turning pages also. That you can save time there also. As other point is, as Abhi rightly mentioned, it may not be very interesting for people who really want to just go read slowly and enjoy the reading. But if you really want to save time, it's really going to help.
Anil, go back to the previous slide. Anil.
Yeah.
Just one is loud reading, one is silent reading. What is, you are saying bad reading. So silent reading is also bad.
Yeah, silent reading in head. That means that is called subvocalization. You are, even though you are not reading loudly, you are reading each word in your head.
Okay.
I'll explain that when we cover through that. Yeah, that is the
Sure.
I think that is the standard reading habit everybody is having. Even though we are not making any noise, we are using lipping and many of other internal movements is happening. They are silently reading.
True.
Then some of the factors affecting, I think we all know, like most of the things which we covered last time. So the assignment for this week is, as I mentioned, continue the same, like we did not read. Last time I have mentioned, you know your normal reading speed. Try to read at least for 20 to 20 minutes every day with a 3x speed. 3x speed, if your speed is 200, your goal is to read at a speed of 600 words per minute. That is to challenge your brain that, okay, I can send this much of data to my brain by reading much faster. That is just to convince. So if you can do that, that is the core of everything. If you practice that for a couple of weeks, it will be much easier for you.
So if I do that 3x, Anil, I would say the comprehension is not even 25%.
Yeah, perfectly fine. If you are getting 25%, that itself is a great thing. Expectation is 0% comprehension in the beginning.
Okay.
Then I'm not even expecting any comprehension. Just leave it. It's only to train. Only thing you need to make sure your eyes is moving through all the lines. Don't skip lines and go.
Sometimes you don't even understand what was the context.
Yes. You will not.
That's also fine.
Yeah, that's also fine. What will happen once you practice around 50 plus pages, 50, 60 pages, but only thing you need to make sure every page you read in that speed. For example, your average reading speed is 60 seconds per page. Your goal is 20 seconds, you should finish. If you are even taking 22 seconds, read it again. Make sure you finish that page in 20 seconds, then only you move to the next page.
Got it. And that has to be continuously for 20 to 30 minutes, not a break of 10, right?
No, it is not mandatory. You can do maybe 5 pages, 10 pages, anything. But I'm telling 20 minutes of practice you should do. It can be 1 page.
Okay.
Yeah, but it is good to practice at least 10 pages together. That will give you some, will help you to identify what all wrong reading habits you have.
Yeah.
With 1 page, your focus will be great, but when you read continuously, you will lose.
Yeah.
Another thing I shared in the group was reverse reading. Reverse reading is also great. To read a paragraph, read the same paragraph backward. Means start from the last word, go back word by word you can go, but slowly you will be able to get into sentence by sentence. Because when you read backward, you will find it very difficult to understand. Where your mind and brain will be trying very hard to understand, and your intention itself is to understand. Then you will automatically try to chunk the words. 5 to 6 words together you want to chunk and get the meaning. This is a great way of practicing speed reading.
But backward reading, it has to be word by word.
Yeah, backward reading, you start with word by word. That's the only way we can start.
Then chunk it.
Then automatically you will be able to chunk.
Okay.
Yeah. Here, backward reading, I was telling at least some 25 paragraphs you should read. I will share one tracking sheet for you to update your progress so that you can see whether you are making some progress. That will motivate you more. Like when the first day when you try after practicing some techniques, and when you try again, you will see that okay, you are progressing. That motivates you. That motivation is always required for doing anything new, right? So that's all for the session today. Any further questions?
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Very useful, Anil. Thank you, and appreciate your time. And we were looking forward to, especially me, I was looking forward to.
Murali?
Yeah, sorry, Anil.
Yeah,
I was saying it's very useful, and I was looking forward to your class.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Anil, hi Shipra here. I think I'm very happy that I decided to attend today, and I'm feeling bad I missed the first class today.
Oh, sure. I'll share you the recording of
And
this session. Yeah, if you want.
please do share, because I think it's very interesting. Out of the so many webinars happening, I really found this one very interesting and nice. I would want to continue. How many more sessions are you taking?
Actually, I plan to take, as I mentioned, Shipra, I was actually planning to take it as a course, but for our CTF family, I decided to take 3 sessions for free. Then I am going to come up with a course. That's my plan.
So, as of now, how many sessions are you taking for the CTF?
One more session I will be taking.
Okay.
3 sessions.
Please share the recording of the previous one
Yeah.
also. I would really want to hear it. I really liked it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Anil.
Yeah, one more request
Only-
I have is I have a Facebook page for this book reading mastery. I will share that link in our group. Please do go and put some comments if it is really helping for you. That will be really
Sure.
helping for me.
I will definitely do that for sure.
Thank you very much, everyone. I will be sharing the assignment also. Please do that.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Anil.
Anil. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye bye.
Bye now.
Thank you so much. It was very nice session.
Yeah, thanks, Anu.
Yep. Thank you. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, Shailaja, you have some question?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
I missed the last session. So how can I make up that?
Yeah, I will share you the recording. That session was also like 1 hour, 15 minutes or something. I have the recording. I will share. Like if you can go through that, it will be helpful. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you.